too dark to actually see the courthouse itself, but I guess they've got our setup in here. Yeah, still can't really see it. Cool. Yeah, you can still see the old schoolhouse and the well, maybe. Don't walk into the plant, though. That's not a dinosaur, it's Ultra.
Jason seen it from the Union.
The first one was on the corner. We own the entire city block here except for one home on the corner, and then the empty lot on the very corner is ours. We also own the last remaining building of downtown, which is the Davis store over on the corner here. And I think we're going to be walking over, some of you all will be walking and investigating over there as well. Community events. And the stairway was originally here, but the judge got tired of people walking through while they were at court in session, so they removed this stairway and they actually put a stairway outside. And there was a balcony and the window, and then when you go right up to the top of the stairs, the window that's there to your right was a doorway actually at one time. And they sold a lot of slaves and property right off of that balcony there. Then in the late, or I guess the early 1870s, when everybody had moved down, they decided they weren't using this anymore, and it was sold to private individuals who turned this into a home. And so this area over here was the kitchen. They remodeled it. I think you all were in the dining room, that was the living room. We met a sweet little old lady several years ago who came and said that her grandparents actually lived here. And she would stay her summers in the bedroom that was in the far corner. And she was just amazed that we still have that lilac bush out there, because she remembered it when it was really tiny. And if you saw it when you walked by, it's just huge.
Was the union leader at Lone Jack, and the murder beer actually is very integral to everything at Lone Jack, and really if it weren't for that would have never happened. That whole battle wouldn't happen. But so Marsh, he was a newspaper, he was a Democrat, he owned slaves, but he was against secession, and the county clerk at the time was James McCown, and Marsh was putting out in his paper the anti. He was against the seceding and all this propaganda. And he did propaganda on both sides, fighting back and forth, and it got loud in the papers. And then he was running against McCown in the election, and on election day. There was a big to-do about it, where it started out at the beginning of the day, one of the McCowns, Billy McCown, James's son, had borrowed Marsh Foster's gun. And then at the election, right after Marsh Foster won, there was a lot of bad words exchanged. And at that time, Billy McCown had Marsh Foster's gun. And Marsh borrowed a gun from somebody else because they were threatening shootings. So he was coming down the stairs here and stopped right in front of this window and leaned, because they were shooting back and forth, and his pistol didn't fire because it malfunctioned. And he leaned over into the window to look in the light to see what was wrong with it, and at that point he was shot. Right there at the foot of the stairs. And a little bit too late at the time, and so they came into the courthouse and ransacked the courthouse looking for whatever it was that came in on this boat.
We can't, well, I'm just asking if we can look this around, but everything's plugged into the back. When you go upstairs to the last, you'll see we've got a tripwire that's like set to go off if anything walks through or touches. And as she's talking about to him, there's this kind of misty thing that keeps formulating, and then it sets the tripwire off, and then the orbs start flying down the hall.
Yeah, and we saw shadow too.
Yeah, there was shadow.
So who was I talking about? Was it when I was talking about McCown or when I was talking about Marsh?
Well, there went a whole thing of bugs. So I see there goes the light.
Yeah, there's an orb. We've seen some huge orbs just fly through there. They look like bubbles.
But it's like
that's what they're describing. Like it looks like a bubble. When a kid blows a bubble. I'm not.
She did tell me.
I did tell
about and we were sitting right over there, and where we first heard come out of was right here, which is the county clerk's office, and the footsteps walked slowly across here, and the slamming door is right up here where the jury room is, and then walks over to this window here, and this window overlooks where the old jail was. The old jail was just directly outside this door, and then there was a set of gallows. And then the footsteps started running across these two rooms where stuff was falling on the ground, and came over to stop right at the top of the stairs. And we were looking like, oh my gosh, she's coming down the stairs. And then it just slowly walked back and just faded out. And when
My husband Chris, we're Raven's Eye Paranormal. So we work with these guys, Russell and Russell from Beyond Life Paranormal. We're going to be your hosts tonight as far as taking people on investigations.
oh! Sorry.
That's my dad, Russell Reynolds Sr. We are the cousins of the late Ed and Lorraine Warren, and John Zappis and Chris McKenna. I've been involved in the paranormal about 30 years now. We work with Raven's Eye, like she was saying. We go into people's houses, do cleansings. I am also a demonologist. I work with the Roman Catholic demonologist out of Springfield, Sparrow Rose Perry, and had my first ghost experience at 6 years old in a house that I lived in.
Sister-in-law, Miss Joyce. So I'm actually from here, so I'm Italian. So I actually work over at Buffalo Lodge State Historic Site. So I research history, I do genealogy, I'm also into investigating, but I've been investigating since I was just a little bitty child, didn't even realize I was investigating. I have some pretty crazy stories, but I'm not going to share them all tonight. But I've had interactions with loved ones since I was about 4. I didn't realize it was a gift at the time. I thought more it was a crazy nightmare.
Reverse speech box, you want to tell them a little bit about that?
The reverse speech box it sweeps everything in reverse to where it is shortwave. So how like the normal spirit boxes, how many of you have used a spirit box before? You know how you pick up radio frequencies on it? This with the reverse sweeps everything reverse, so when you get a clear sentence through it, you're actually talking to a spirit. And shortwave cuts out all the radio frequencies.
Okay. Jen, you want to ask some questions? Let me get the answer. We will be doing this and you all will be watching. We're not going to ask you guys to do this. Yes, no questions, Jen.
Is anyone here with us tonight? Is Marsh here? Is there anyone here that was killed unjustly? Are there any Civil War veterans here?
Barely just fell. Oh, I just fell off the curb and barely fell up it.
See how it's going on?
Oh, too late.
It doesn't have to.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go under if that's okay to see if I can get into the other room.
MC, if anybody wants these, you can tag us in the link and we'll send them to you. Some of them you have to pay for. We use Ghost Tube, Necromancer, Ghost, SLS, IO. So that keeps you from having to spend $500 on equipment. Your electronic voice phenomena. So, you know, you're hoping to get something that is what we call a grade A, which is like a full sentence or an actual reply to something, an intelligent response. That's what we're looking for, is an intelligent response. Answer. Or necrophonics, sorry. Sometimes we run 2 boxes. This is something that you can do, like if you're working with a team, is run 2 different things. what we found out doing MSP was the boxes will sometimes talk to each other, and they will communicate, but you'll get things communicating back and forth between the boxes instead of you, which is kind of interesting. Who is here that wants to speak to us right now? Me? Okay. What's your name, me? My name is Julie. It's okay, don't be scared. It hurts? Were you one of the slave kids up here? Yes. Were you sold here? Yes, that was a yeah. You're right, we are a ghost tour. We're here to see ghosts. See him? Is it a seal? Faster. Your light, your purple light's just going.
I don't know, it's never done that before.
How does it experience spiritual things or spirit things? This is what we run into, is that matrixy, spin, tilt-a-house weird feeling.
That you give time for the, to like process and answer before you shout out another one. Or it'll still be answering the first question.
Hang on, my app just went off, so hang on.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay, so you're probably gonna have to yell when I shut the door. Who is here with us? Can you tell us your name? Anybody here?
Yeah.
Him who? Him who? Who's here?
5 of us.
5 of you. 5 who?
Out the door.
What door?
Out the door.
Side door or front door? Somebody out there?
I don't want to go. Don't make me go.
You can stay. You can stay and talk with us. Just tell us your name. Are you a slave? Five people where?
You. Men, women, and children. From
What happened? Tell us what happened.
Don't touch me.
Can you move something? Can you move something? You're being very quiet. Very quiet.
This is the wise man. Yeah, here, I'll show you, because there is a thing here. Here we go, so. Can you tell us who lives here with you? How many are here with you? Are there any males here with you? No. Were you shot or hung? Did you die here? Were you a slave? That was yes. Were you sold on the auction block? How much did I sell you for?
Please go.
Do you want us to go? Do we make you uncomfortable?
She telling a man to go.
Do you want the man to go and leave you alone?
I don't know.
Is he doing something here?
Were you abused by this person? What is dark? Tell me more about dark. Who is in here right now with me?
I remember.
Do you remember the past?
Back.
Are you male or female? I'm sorry for what I did to you. How can I make it better? Are you 18 years old?
Can you tell us your name?
Can you tell us your name? Paisley. But that was a male voice. Do you know of Paisley? Would you back off from her for a while? Do you want them to? What'd she say?
What happened to me?
You have passed on. Fight? Is somebody fighting you right now? Are you being hurt? Does she tap out or does she keep going? Does she? Stop.
Where I went straight up like
Did we get you on camera?
this. No.
Didn't happen.
Something through the meter.
Is that down camera or that?
I wonder if we got that on camera. Something threw this meter off of here.
No, I see the
Yeah,
camera.
and it just went flying.
This one.
Okay.
And then you answered some stuff that was really insane because you didn't know what was going on outside. And it correlates with something that happened with Jen, too. You two said the exact same things, pretty much, about something. But I want to wait and share when we get everybody together. Because it's insane how weird it was.
Can I tell a story because it was kind of like when everybody gets together tonight.
Yeah, it happened to you, so. We were seeing what was in the camera here in this room, too. And they're obviously not bugs. I mean, these are big round bubble things.
One of the ones I saw, that one,
That
whoa,
huge one,
that
yeah.
was humongous.
Yeah, if you think about the proportion, that's what we were just talking about, the proportion of like the cabinetry compared to the war. The thing had been like this big. That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
This was really interesting. As this was going on, I was kind of walking back and forth, just peeking in and out. And I noticed that there were several things being said that were very similar to both groups. It seemed yeah, a little bit. Yeah, maybe. It seemed that's fun. That was perfect timing for revolting. That seemed maybe like it was just random and didn't make as much sense, but they were the same things and the timing of it, and then kind of a backstory. So, one of the first times that I noticed it, I'd gone over to the library, and as soon as I stepped in front of Jen, somebody asked, "Are you here?" or "Where are you at?" She said, "Standing in front of you." Like right as I stood in front of her, and then she said, "Standing in front of who?" And she said, "Hero." And then I said, "Who was the hero?" And she said, "There were 5 of them." Oh.
So you overhearing that 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard 5.
Yeah, and so I didn't hear all of that, but I heard there were 5 of them. What else did she say? She said some other things. Remember that I was like, oh, she said something, she said justice.
Oh, yeah.
And, she was saying justice and something about
Guilty.
guilty.
Justice on
I
the
said
thing.
guilty.
And justice and guilty. And then at one point there was something about a letter. We don't have to respond to that.
That's huge.
And then there was something else in the statement with the 5, there were 5 of them and a hero. There was something that was, what did I tell you? Because I can't now off the top of my head remember what it was. So over here, when I came in, I kept hearing there were 5 of them, and I kept hearing 5. There was a fight.
Yeah, we probably got 5.
And we got a fight.
So to tell you the backstory, we are at the tail end of a huge fight in a lawsuit. And there were 5 of us plaintiffs that everybody was calling the five heroes as kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, you were calling us that. And Joyce and I talked to the ghosts a lot, telling them, hey, help us out. Because a lot of it revolved around the ability to preserve the artifacts, and that a lot of the artifacts didn't get preserved like they should have. When they got their letter, they said, we don't have to respond to that. Yeah.
Where does 28 cents come from?
That I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what that.
Oh, you got letter.
Yeah.
She's got letter.
You got letter too? Yeah.
So there was something else Jen said that I was like,
Realistic.
because it lined up as, I kept hearing 5. I kept bouncing back and forth, and I'd hear 5 and fight and justice and,
When
you
you
know.
went to the top of the stairs, she was in another room with her, here, it said she's here. Something like that, yeah, she's here.
But when we were talking to them the whole time, we were
Yeah.
like talking to them saying, hey, you know, help us out, you know,
That would be the men, women, and children, because I think that came out of me twice, was men, women, and children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, woman, and children.
Yeah, it was a really long, drawn-out lawsuit, and it was really all about protecting the Historical Society and its holdings. Yeah, I can't, and I'm not allowed to talk too much about it, but we are here and they're not, and
That's
things are being
everything.
preserved, so. And there was, like she said, there was 5 of us that put all of our money in, because we didn't feel like we should spend the Historical Society's money. We
Did
wanted-
anybody get down to 28 cents?
Or 8.
Come on, let's sit down and play some cards. Look, I got some cigars. I want some cigars in the courthouse. Oh,
Ooh.
you don't like the cigars?
Maybe you could judge.
Well, it may not be your courtroom. We're gonna pop up some cigars here. We have a cigar. You can have one too. Here. The more the merrier. Have a cigar. We got a light, we got some cigars, some playing cards. I didn't like that, that was okay. Just waiting. He says, what are you waiting for?
We have free cigars.
Free cigars, playing cards, we got a lighter.
Wasn't easy to get in. Get you in there and grab a card.
Home, pool. Do you want to go home?
You want to card?
Leave here. You want to leave here? Well, the door's open. You can leave here if you want.
maybe.
Maybe.
We have a card. Anybody want to play? Grab one.
We can get a poker game going. We brought the whiskey. Anybody bring any whiskey?
I'm good, thank you.
I was going to, but I didn't have to get it. I'm good.
Thanks. I don't want to set it like a long one. Start what? Is it my hand?
Somebody want a cigar? Grab that cigar. There's a lighter right there next to it. Reach up there and grab it.
Purgatory. Two.
I heard that earlier too. There's two.
There's two. Two of us are going to purgatory. And my 4 aces are going to purgatory. And 4 aces. I win.
Grab a card.
I get the jackpot.
Oh no.
I don't know what that was. Take.
Now our group is going over to the library. And hopefully I get all this in order since my phone keeps saying it's full and my battery on my camera is out.
It's coming in backwards, okay? So, and sometimes it sets off and sometimes it doesn't, and you never know what it's gonna be. Here, this is gonna,
You want me to put mine on?
which one are you gonna use?
You want the name on those?
Yeah, you can use necro.
Too quiet when we ask questions and just almost like it is.
You know, I'm gonna go back further.
Can you tell us who's here with us? We're here to talk with you. Someone is with us.
Twig.
So what's your name?
Be quiet.
Tell us why. Why should we be quiet?
Definitely.
What are you sure about? Are you male? Are you female?
I played a mean streak.
Are you blind blue? I play piano. Play jazz. Play ragtime. Play rock. Play
Scout.
What kind of scout? Tell us your name. Are you blind blue?
Freedom to win.
Are you a soldier? Police officer? Male? Female?
The flag is ours.
Are you Civil War soldier? Did you capture the flag? Was it given to you?
Salt. Go.
Can you tell us the name? You're kind of random. Can you be more specific?
Leave now.
How come you must leave?
It's a big pot.
Was the Cherokee?
Ruthless.
Are you talking about?
Ruthie.
Are you talking about war? Are you a soldier? Can you tell us your name?
Are you a general?
Are you a leader?
Cable.
Are you a leader?
1812.
War with you? Is there a weapon in here? Is there something in here that's yours? Are you a soldier? Are you a slave?
Massacred.
Can you tell us the name? Who are you?
All of them are dead.
Who are you? Were they friends? Or were they enemies? Can you give us a name?
The smell was so bad.
It was war.
Oddly.
Can you tell us your name? Who are you? Is there something in here that's yours? Was it yours?
Succumbed to wounds.
What battle were you in? Were you local? Were you from here?
Job. On the ground.
What's your name? Can you tell us? War of 1812. Which battle? What unit? What unit were you? How many was in the unit? Be quiet. Can you move something? Can you make a sound? right here. Can you tell us your name? How many's here? Is it just you? Is it just one? What's his name? Come over here and play the piano. Can you play the piano? Which one of those keys over there? Which key? What's over here? You still there?
Again, Kevin, yourself off balance when you do that. Close your eyes. And what'll happen is you'll actually feel your body kind of being pushed or like, and just lean the way it is, and she's gonna push you back and you're completely covered. Nobody's gonna let you fall. And it's just trusting the way your body goes. And don't second guess, because a lot of people will lock up when they feel themselves going. Just let yourself go the direction it goes. Okay? Yes, no questions, come on. I can't ask outside of guard.
So okay with us?
Yes, no questions.
Will you mail?
Is there a group here?
Is there a Native American chief here? Do you want us to fight? Do you want us to have peace? Do you like having people come through this place? Do you feel like it's yours?
Are you in the box over there?
Is your stuff in here? Are you attached to the piano? Are you attached to the doctor? Are you a patient of his? Are you the doctor? Are you at peace? Would you be at peace if it was quiet here? Would you like us to shut this door down? Should we ask you more questions? Did you die here? Are you here because of your things? Would you like to move on? Can you move on with your things being here? Can I help you move on? Is it your decision to stay?
I saw this big bright flash in there. So, and he didn't notice it on here, but a lot of you did. I don't know how many, but certainly said you saw it, which is weird because I never saw it. First looking down the corner, did anything exciting happen with you guys here?
Popcorn and water.
Chair that you're with, not move the chair with somebody in it.
Oh my gosh.
You got the chance to say I did that. Did it say that?
Yep.
What? I did that. I thought that's what it said.
Did you go see a light flash in the library area?
I keep on asking.
Do it again.
You seen a light flash?
Yeah.
Weird.